Very good afternoon. Thanks for clicking on to the Monday edition of Vogan's US Outlook. We have got a very interesting front half of April to come. While it may be fairly mild at the moment across the eastern half of the country, we are talking about the winter fighting back type pattern as we go into the opening part of April. We are going to remain very, very unsettled indeed, and as the cold air starts to filter back south out of Canada, we're going to see a lot of systems kind of getting driven a little bit further south each time. Watching the northeastern half of the country, I don't think winter is done there in terms of snowfall as well as cold. And we also have got a tremendous amount of cold coming into the northern and central plain states, given the fact that we're going to be going into the month of April. So GFS, this is the surface precipitation chart. And you can see here as I skip through very quickly, lots of moisture here, generally between East Texas, Louisiana, up through the Tennessee Valley into the central Appalachians range here. The reason why is we've got warm moisture coming up from the south, cold, dry air coming in from the north. We're going to have this boundary here, this fight zone, so to speak, and there is going to be a tremendous amount of moisture, I think, really falling in this given area over the next 10 days or so. But you can see here one system after the next coming through, almost kind of clipper-like systems coming out of Alberta down into the central plain states, and it kind of lifts on into the eastern side of the Great Lakes here. You can see that area of high pressure pretty strong over eastern parts of Virginia here, kind of deflecting systems to the north and the west of the northeastern half of the country here. Generally rain at the moment across the northeast, but as we go through the first week of April, we're going to be talking about the cold air starting to kind of dig further and further south, and therefore the storm track is going to go further south. Look at this here. Look at the type of systems that we're talking about. Blizzard, all-out blizzard across the central plains, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, even in the North Texas as well. We've got a tremendous amount of cyclogenesis going on with this amount of cold air coming into the pattern once again. But of course, at this time of the year, you've got a lot of warm, moist air coming up from a warmer than normal Gulf. That really winds up these systems, and we're going to be talking about blizzard conditions on the backside. We could be talking about flooding, rainfall with trailing thunderstorms on the eastern side in the warm sector. But get yourself to the cold side of that, and you've got gale force winds, heavy snowfall, and whiteout conditions across the mid-Mississippi Valley here. So a very, very energetic pattern going on at the moment, and will continue to be. We've got another system that was here, comes out of the western Gulf, lifts north with that warm transport of warm moist air coming up, and you can see here that the GFS still has those systems kind of to the west, but I think as we start to dig the trough and the cold air south, you're going to then kind of push that track of storminess further and further east with time. Let's have a quick look at the CFSV2 weeklies here. You can see here exactly what we're looking at over the coming days and weeks to come. So you can see here, week 1, we have got the ridge in the east trough over the northern plain states here, so that's why we've got kind of cool here, mild at the moment here. So this is the front running 7 days, but then look at the change. We've got more troughiness, starts to become more established as we go forward. Now the CFSV2, it does drive a ridge northwards here, generally in the week between the 9th and the 16th of April. That ridge kind of holds on, and then we'll revert back to the trough. It's going to be interesting to see whether that actually materialises. The reason being is, as Joe Bastardi has been pointing out, the pattern that we've got versus the MJO forecasted to go into phase 7 and 8, and during the early part of April, tends to have a tremendous amount of cold air that comes out of Canada into the lower 48. And you look back at certain years such as 75, 82 I think, and even 2007, during the early portion of April, we've seen some tremendous cold. We've also seen some snow in places such as North Texas, for example. So it's going to be a very interesting upcoming 2 to 3 week period coming up. So let's have a look quickly at the CFSV2 temperature. Normally is real quick, and I'll end with this. and you can see here, well, it's updating unfortunately, so I will end for that at the moment. I'm going to try in the next day or so to show you the GFS MJO forecast and some comparisons. Like I say, this is not my findings, it's Joe Bastardi that was mentioning this very interesting correlation between MJO this time of the year, the type of pattern that we've got at the moment, and some really wild and wacky weather. So that's it for today. Hope you've had a great day so far, and I'll be back in the next few days with more on the US pattern. Bye for now.